You know what else in lies the rub? A FarLands or Bust live stream for your January 17th, shockingly. January 17th, 2023. We are at 45,414.8 megabytes on the world save file since we last streamed FarLands or Bust on the 12th. Why does that feel like yesterday? Maybe because I only just made the YouTube version live, but I was surprised. I thought of like, oh, it's like the 14th or something, right? No, it's the 17th. I thought that was just a few days ago. But yeah, we are ready to continue to the FarLands in more casual stream format as opposed to your full-on episodes. And I hope you got your woofs ready. Ooh, the hummingbird's back. Got your woofs ready? You ready? All right. Woof! Wolfie's ready. No hesitation. Get that garbage out of my inventory and continue on. West to the FarLands here in Minecraft Beta 173. The hidey hole is secured. This way is west, so let's go. Woof, 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 woof. Indeed. I was just... I'm looking for an unnecessarily complex and long word to explain a very simple concept, which is kind of just the thing that I do on a regular basis. But I was just regaling chat with more tales of broken pickup truck parking brake cables. Little did I know that they are disposable, one time use only objects. But very annoying that I was coming home, which is part of another story that I will tell. After picking up my medication, went to park to go open up the gate to our driveway. Pull on the leather and the lever, and pop. Once again, annoyingly. So now I no longer have a parking brake again. The previous time it happened, when the mechanic had it, they popped it, and then before then, I popped it because I had to repair it. It was just very, I don't know. The solution, obviously, is to find a complete and unbroken and in good condition entire parking brake assembly, because that's how they made them from Nissan. The handle, the wire and cable is all permanently affixed. Well, permanently, except for when it breaks, like it did with the previous owner of my truck. The whole thing. They unfortunately don't exist anymore, except for maybe if I were to go for like a parts truck at a pick and pull, if I could find one. But also, the floor-mounted handbrakes are apparently very rare for this model of pickup truck. So it might be a wild goose chase in that regard, anyway. So anyway, yeah, I brought... The wire didn't break. It's just that the little metal piece, the little swag, whatever these are called. There's a metal wire that's 1/8 inches thick, that I had to purchase and cut to length myself. And then you put this metal thing on the wire and then you clamp it down. I bought a special clamper thing for it as well. And then in clamping down the swage, it crimps onto the cable and provides a hard stop so that when you pull, it pulls on the rest of the cables. But apparently what I'm doing is not strong enough. And I don't know how much longer I can do it. Previously, I bought these things. They only sell them one at a time at like hardware stores. So I gone through like 3 of those. I finally ordered like a set of, I don't know how many, 10, 20 of these from Amazon. That's the first one that didn't hold. Somebody suggested because the ones I got are made of aluminum and the cable is steel, maybe I should try to find steel versions of those, which might help, and I have found. Somebody's asking about the offset they haven't seen in a while. Yeah, we're full 4 pixels off of the texture. We did a whole ceremony and monument the last time it happened. There we go, that's perfect. See, the block is over here. Not over there. It's over here. Oh, careful, Wolfie. And it's also evident with the flames on the torches are not connected to the actual torches. Illustrative. So yeah. I found some metal ones from like Granger, which apparently is like a heavy equipment supplier or something. Alternately, finding decade-old forum posts. People suggest I should take it to somewhere that like works on airplanes and aircraft. Apparently have like professional heavy-duty swaging supplies and like equipment to be able to like properly clamp it down as opposed to just the handheld one that I have. So yeah, that's an annoyance. That's an annoyance that I am unfortunately starting to live with. McMaster? Who's McMaster? Kurt J. McMaster. Ooh, look at this tower in the distance. So yeah, there's that. The other annoyance, we did have a stream. I guess I'll bring you up to speed if you missed it. We did have a stream where I was similarly clamping, squanching down electrical cables for the Bluetooth radio I got for the pickup truck. Similar concept, but the electrical connections don't need to be load bearing, you know, as a parking brake does. So yeah, we did that, and then we discovered that the truck has a separate but factory amplifier. So we had to find a way to turn that on with the head unit that I bought that has no accommodation for such things. So we miraculously discovered that the antenna power from the head unit works to function the same way. I plugged everything in, I got sound, it works. I very cleanly installed it, hid all the mess of wires behind and closed it up and put the whole dashboard back together. And then I discovered that because both the head unit is itself amplified like 25 watts or something, then it's going into the car's amplifier, that it's being over amplified, and like a volume of 1 is like too loud. And the rear speakers are speakers from 1993, of course, but they can't handle anything like that, and they're just too much. It's too loud. So now the idea is that I should simply completely bypass the whole factory amp entirely, thus negating all of the wiring work we did, the installation. I'll have to undo all of that. I'll have to clip a bunch of wires. I'll have to figure out where the speaker wires plug into the amp and then splice into those and just have those go directly into the head unit somehow. Or I'll just have to run all new cables. So that's annoying. That's annoying. True, and they're not easily replaceable. The other option I thought was like, oh, just get like better speakers that can handle more watts of power and not be ruined. But yeah, the speaker installation setup in the rear of the truck does not follow any sort of standard. They have 3 holes instead of 4, like at the noon, 3, 6, and 9 of the clock. They're more at like noon, 4:30, and 7:30. It's very weird. So, the cheapest but not easiest solution is to simply bypass the factory amp. So I've got to undo everything. So that's kind of annoying. That's a bit annoying. Stuff I wish I knew earlier. But yeah, that's frustrating. For just a simple thing. I was starting to be like, well, I should have just got one of those Bluetooth tape cassettes. Instead of needing a whole Bluetooth radio scenario. Serenity now! But in the meantime, my solution is to put the fader all the way to the front speakers. Like, the maximum front fade, burning skeletons, is like 7, so I have it on 6, so that there's just the minimum amount of signal going to the rear speakers. There are no front speakers. So I also still have to find front speakers. I was hoping to be able to reuse the speakers that came out of the Datsun, because they still worked. I just replaced them when I installed a radio there, which went not great, but it was easier. It was easier to install a Bluetooth radio in a 1978 Datsun than in a 93 Nissan pickup truck. Do you have a clevis end fitting? That sounds like a personal question, my friend, Pallet Hands. Or is it more ball and shank? Even more personal. Gosh. The intrusive questions. Surprised AutoMod let you even say those words. Also, I don't know what those words mean. Swage questions. I don't know. On the stock handbrake cable, it was just a end fitting, just a ball. It looked like this. It looked like a little cylinder that was fused onto the end of the cable. So to answer your question, I don't know. But apparently I need to go to McMaster or Granger. Any boats? Oh, that's, I guess, where that's going. A lot of the swage parts and tools are for, like, making cable railings. Like, cable deck railings. Like, that's what a lot of the stuff I'm finding is for. Which I was hopeful because the girlfriend wants to do that with our deck. So I'm like, so I'm not just buying this crap to use once on a pickup truck parking cable. I could use it again when we do the railings on the deck. We need a swage sage. It's pronounced faye. Swaye. Maybe it's swaye, like the yogurt. Like the yogurt. Von Sway. I mean, at this point, I've used it 4 times. For each of the times it's failed. So I'm really getting my usage out of my swagage. Swagage usage. But in doing so, it must mean I'm doing something very wrong. So yeah, those are a few annoyances on the day. Otherwise, I'm enjoying the truck now that it runs. I did see another Nissan pickup truck in a parking lot today that had a bunch of tape along the top of the windshield. So I'm thinking the leaky windshield is kind of a common problem. And that I should be getting fixed this weekend. But it's still, I made an appointment, but it's still like, God, that seems like a real waste. The windshield is fine. It's pristine. Well, not pristine, but it's like not cracked or chipped or anything. But in order to fix the fact that it's leaking, I gotta replace the whole damn windshield. I could just use car tape. And I'm not even 100% sure that's where the leaking is coming from, to be honest. It could be from the sunroof. I mean, I guess we'll find out. Well, that can you buy a truck-sized North Face rain jacket? I did buy a windshield cover. It's meant for like when it snows, so that you don't have to like scrape your windshield. But it's waterproof and is big enough, so I'm always, when I get home, I'm strapping on this windshield protector to keep the rain out of it, and it's been working. Expanding foam and all the hoses. I don't know where the hoses are. The hoses? The holes are. There just happens to be a puddle of water that ends up on the passenger floor if I leave it out and it's rain. What's the biggest pro and biggest con about driving a Nissan? I don't know. I feel like I should have some sort of joke ready for that answer, but I don't. The problems I'm having could probably be said for any car that's 30 years old. Regardless of Nissan or whoever. $30 years old and bought on the cheap, I should say. I could have bought a much more expensive one. And not have had to do all these repairs. Or I could have bought a more expensive one and still had to have done all these repairs. There's no guarantees. cheap parts. The little handbrake lever piece of metal was $55. What's the first thing you listen to on the new radio? Well, the radio, first of all, but then, like, just my Bluetooth, my YouTube music. Speaking of music, I just got, like, a weird... bit of distortion. It was that weird... You ever... Man, this happened a lot on a lot of old computers, where, like, the speakers would get a momentary, like, distortion, where we just go... and then, like, go away. Did anybody else experience that in their youths? And it wasn't the, yes, it's not the modem or anything like that, but it was just like a very specific type of distortion or interference that came out of old desktop computer speakers. Yeah, it was probably from wireless phones. Because we definitely had a wireless phone. That was probably what it was from. A lot of our wireless phones, which also work on the same bandwidth as microwaves and things like that. But yeah, I just heard something similar, but through my headphones, which is the first time I've heard anything like that on this computer. That's another thing with the rear speakers going through the amp, is that there is, like, just a constant static. I'm assuming just because the gain is way too high. Which is why initially I'm like, oh, I just need new speakers. But no, I think it's just the, it's too much. Too much power! Unshielded speaker cables will do that. Weird. So anyway, oh no, come back! You dang boat. I had a fun time this afternoon. Well, here's the long and the short of it. Does everybody else have problems getting refills at pharmacies? Like, it's never a streamlined process. It never works out. And nobody seems concerned that you've run out of medication. I mean, I don't want to say this happens a lot. I'm using, like, a community clinic pharmacy. So that's part of the problem. They're closed on weekends. They're closed for lunch. They're closed on holidays. So already I'm aware of the limitations and their understaffedness. But, like, I ordered my refills last Tuesday. They don't have an online thing. They do have a phone thing. One of my medications was out of refills, so they have to contact my doctor to get more refills. This has happened many times before. I went in on Friday to pick up the medication, but they only had the one. They didn't have the other one because they hadn't heard back from my doctor. And I'm like, uh-oh, that's not good. So they're like, well, call before coming in on Tuesday, because they're closed on Monday, to see if we have it by then. So I called today, and they don't have it. And they're like, that's odd, I'll send it again. They're in the same building, mind you. The doctor office and the pharmacy is within the same building. And then they recommended that I call the doctor's office to, like, light a fire under their pants. So I did that. And they're like, yes, I see the request. And no, it wasn't gone through. And I'm like, can somebody put it through? And I'm pretty sure they said it was through. And I even clarified, I'm like, do we have to wait for the doctor, or is it through now? Is it now on the pharmacy side? And the lady said it's on the pharmacy side. Well, I wait like half an hour just to make sure, and then I call the pharmacy to triple check, and they're like, nope, we're still waiting on it from the doctor. I'm like, well, what else can I do? I'm out. I missed my morning dose already. And they're like, we see that the request is in, and you said you called the doctor, so just give them a little bit more time. And I asked them, like, should I just keep calling you, or like, can I give you my number so you can call me? So they took my number, thankfully. And I went out, walked Juno, came back, starting to feel weird. And then I thankfully did hear from them at like 2 p.m. that it's like ready, but they haven't filled the prescription yet. When can I come in? And I'm like, I'll be in at 3. So that's where I went, and then I came back and the parking brake broke. So yeah, I then took the medication that I should have taken at 9 a.m. at 3 p.m. because it's a twice a day thing. Because it has such a short half-life. Sounds like an America problem. It is. It very much is. And then I looked at the bottle, and they only gave me 1 refill. And I had an appointment with the doctor in December, and I was like, listen, I'm changing insurances with my medication. Could you just give me more refills? Because it might take me time to get everything transferred and a new doctor and everything like that. And we were all on the same page about that. Yet, I was out of refills, and now on this refill, they only give me 1 refill. And I know it's like a community clinic. They are overworked and understaffed, and he has a lot of patients, the doctor. But it's not their fault specifically. But it's a bad system. It's a bad system. I do think though that I would probably change pharmacies, as much as it pains me to go back to like a big corporate chain, but at least they're like open on the weekends and have like online prescription refills and accounts and things. Yeah, I mean, it was just weird that like they have some system where they're like, we sent in the request, like through the computer systems or something, but it's like they're literally upstairs from you. Like, can we not get the pharmacist to like call a person, or why does it need to be my doctor? Any doctor can just say yes. I mean, I've also heard people say like I should get my prescriptions delivered. I've never figured out a way to get that to work. I mean, obviously this community clinic pharmacy doesn't do that. I mean, they do, but they charge for it. Like, that would be helpful, I think, because then you can get like a 90-day supply in the mail. mean, I guess my worry with that, though, would be, like, if the same thing happened, where do I go? I can't, like, go to the post office and be like, I'd like my prescriptions. Or, similarly, over Christmas, it took literally 2 weeks to get a Christmas card to my nephews in Chicago. What about that cost plus pharmacy thing? I don't know to what you are referring. The Mark Cuban one? What happened? Did we put Twitter in a blender and these are the words that it's spitting out? What are you talking about? I mean, I know Amazon's trying to get in the pharmacy game. Mark Cuban started a low-cost online pharmacy. Weird. I mean, that's also, like, how do, like, when I'm at my doctor's... or a new doctor, and they're like... Alright, here's your new prescription. Where do you want it to go? I'm like, I just, specifically when I moved here, I'm like, I don't know, wherever there's a pharmacy nearby. I don't have pharmacy allegiance or anything like that. And like, in that case, if I go to my doctor and I'm like, send it to Mark Cuban. Send it to Jeffrey Bezos. I mean, I suppose in that case, like, it probably isn't, like, insurance covered. Therefore, it doesn't apply to your deductible either, if you're doing it that way. Which is another American thing to have to worry about. I don't know. I guess I'll look into it. I need to look into that, and I need to look into McDonald's or McMinimans. Who am I asking for my ball rods and my swage ends? What? McGruber. Mandalorian. What? McMaster. That's right. Oh, now he's got two names? Now he's McMaster Carr? Somebody put that in the Discord. The Discord is now my notes app, and all of you are my note takers. Ow! Like you twist an ankle. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I like this community pharmacy, is because they are non-profit. So, like, the medications are cheap, but is the getting your medication late and like having to make a bunch of phone calls the price that I'm paying for that. I mean, I suppose. Come on, hey. Oh, you dingus. Hey. Trapped by the foliage. Foliage. Ooh, buddy. So, how's everybody else doing? Got your medications in order? Oh, murder. Oh, I had another one right here. I didn't even realize it. There's a trap-averse mouse in your apartment. Where there's one... try marshmallows. That's what ended up working for me. Marshmallows or peanut butter, but I think the marshmallows worked better. Are you using some sort of... It's are you using a snap trap is what I'm trying to say. I don't... There seems to be an agreement that there is no humane way to trap a mouse. If you actually want to get rid of the mouse. The meese. The moose. You just need a peepers. Peepers is 2 for 2 on the mouse catching front. That was y'all think the flat-faced cats are useless or whatever, but Peepers is a stone cold killer. What was that noise? Somebody's splooshing around here. Oh, careful, Wolfie. There must be a SnowRunner truck that's upside down over here. Reference. Ooh. I'm taking my thumbnail yet. Thumbnail. Bow, 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 bow. Ooh, buddy. Excuse me. Oh, no. What else? What else, my friends, is up with you? I've blovated about my day. Blovated. Buying a flat. A flat or a Fiat? Like a condo, but British. Almost an engineer is regretting their choice of degree. There's much maths in engineering. Yeah, I mean, that is, one of many reasons. I wanted to go into, like, electrical engineering, but I was not good at math. And also, engineering school is very expensive and hard to get into. So I didn't. So I ended up with an art degree. I loved the first year of chemistry in high school. Then the second year turned into another math class. See, I only took one chemistry class, and it was a math class. I did great at, like, the lab work and, like, the hands-on stuff. But when it came time to, like, combine molecules, and I don't even remember, I just blacked out. I think of, like, however you did all the molecule math. That made no sense to me. It was not grasped. I never took any... I somehow got through high school and college without having to take any calculus, statistics, or trigonometry. I avoided all those subjects. Look at this lone tree. In mineralogy class, the teacher made up a mineral just to see if we knew the math. How do you math a mineral? Christ, Marie, they're minerals. Oh, I fell in. Like, how do you math a real mineral that isn't fake? Like, aren't minerals just like rocks after heat and pressure? Made of real elements, but not of mineral. Oh, so it's like chemistry again. Chemistry! Get out of my rocks, chemistry. Hi, papers. May I suggest botany? The girlfriend is making a better case for me to try school because I was very not pleased with my initial university and school experience. And it's never too late, although my brain is telling me it's too late. Like everything is too late. She still gets a kick out of the fact that I have a bachelor's of science of art. The fact that I had to do that because I couldn't learn Spanish. Science of art. I know. That is pretty funny. It is, isn't it? You have a PhD student in your botany lab who is 35 and already had a law degree. Law degree! God, like like not half of me, maybe like a third of me is like, yeah, that would stuff gets me so riled up sometimes that like doing like law or environmental law or something, just to punch everybody in the microphone and get them back in shape would be like a noble cause. Bird law. Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. But then I think about what's like actually involved. And I'm like, nope. Gotta go. Not interested. I had jury duty once. That's enough law for me. Right, but it is the it is the mental health part that missing now my morning dose of this medication is not going to assist. But yeah, I do have a one of my many Achilles heels is that I and my hesitations in making decisions comes from the fact that I feel like all decisions are final and always, and they are always the wrong decisions, and they are irreversible. So like a small example, for instance, when I bought the pickup truck, immediate regret, an immediate like, well, guess I'll die. You know, like that is the outcome of buying this truck. The sunk cost fallacy. Got hands. Yeah, I don't even know if that's it. It's the sunk cost, but like you're at the bottom and there's no further to that can be sunk. Like there's you made an choice. That's the last choice you can make on that matter. No takesies backsies. Like that's what my brain thinks of like everything. So that then even something as simple as like trying to choose what to have for dinner is like Frozen. I'm Frozen Disney. A huge mood. Yeah, it's tough. Except it's about everything. Everything I've ever done in the history of everything. I'm well, thank you, and also I'm concurrently thankful that you can relate, and also I'm sorry that you can relate. Um, sounds like a version of decision anxiety disorder. I don't know what I would have. I mean, it's also like a symptom of like ADHD or autism spectrum. Like, there's so many things that like line up with that. With like decision paralysis, regret. I don't need. I'm good. I'm good on the free coal. So yeah, I don't know. It's very helpful to have somebody that is doing a very patient job of trying to like, suggest otherwise and help otherwise. Yeah, she's like, what? Instead of like signing up for a full degree course program, maybe just take a class. I'm like, that's less stressful. That's less stressful. I might be able to do that. Y'all can do that. We can do what? We can dance if we want to. I don't think us here in the UK can take individual uni modules. But yeah, well, I mean, your stuff's free, isn't it? I mean, like, is there no, like, adult continuing education options? Like, what if you just want to take, like, a pottery class for funsies? Although, I don't know. It is true that with a lot of universities or colleges, that in order to enroll in a class, you also have to be enrolled in the program. So yeah, there is a little, depending on how specific. Of coursework. There are different rules, so yes and no, I suppose, which is, again, part of the another hurdle, another hurdle to stop me in my tracks. Well, I mean, that's the other thing, having a bachelor's degree. I mean, the girlfriend says that means that I don't even need to do anything. Like, I already meet all the prerequisites. Which seems kind of like cheating. Because I certainly don't remember any of the prerequisites. I certainly don't have any of that information at hand. That, as I mentioned, was 18 years ago. But, like, as long as I don't need to take any math classes or math placement tests or chemistry or anything like that. Right. I'm looking for confirmation here from the peanut gallery. Numbers are different now. I mean, they are. There was no internet. I mean, there was an internet, but not this internet. There was no Wikipedia. Like, I've never, like, the girlfriend suggests maybe I just take an online course. I'm like, I've never taken an online course. That wasn't a thing back in my day. I mean, I might like it more than having to, like, ow! You dang dingleberry. Wolfie, get over here. You look like you took some damage from that too. Yep, he did. There was no Twitch. So yeah. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I'm going the wrong way. It's fine. We're back going the right way. Yeah, I don't remember either how we wrote papers. Without the internet. I mean, I remember there being, like, a library. But, like, even that, our high school library was minuscule. I don't remember spending any time in there. There might have been, like, online... What were those called? They were, like, databases, searches of papers. MLS? There's some arrangement of letters where you could, like, look up scholarly articles. But I feel like that was more college for me than high school. I mean, I still remember using Netscape in high school. I never used microfilm. Micro's tiny little film, or microfiche. I never used that. I kind of wish I had. I don't remember ever being shown it, or telling me it was an option. Yeah. Of course, the only reports I remember writing were, like, book reports. Or, like, books we read in English. I feel like the majority of those were just, like, BS. That you come up with out of your head, and you don't have any, like, sources or anything like that. Transparency projectors. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, I remember those. And the bulbs would always overheat. And the fans would be super loud. So you couldn't hear the teacher, what they were talking about of their overhead projector. Now they have, like, smart chalkboards. Or at least that's what I'm told from my nephews being in school, which I have no idea. I just got a text from the girlfriend that says pizza, as in pizza. I don't know if she's asking for me to make pizza, or if she's saying she has pizza to bring to me. Both options will change my night considerably. I will reply, make a the pizza. Oh shit, I sent it without a question mark. Pizza stream. It always tends to happen. I made the bread this morning too. I get out the flowers and suddenly it's pizza time. It's beepers time is what it is. Oh, hello. Would you like to say something? Did you hear that? Beepers wants the pizza. Does Beepers want the pizza? Oh, I'm stuck. Take a wild guess how he got the name Beepers. Apparently on the car ride home, after the girlfriend got him, it was just constant, non-stop yelling. as a kitten Beepers. Listen, you. Oh, I fell into a... Whoa, that was interesting. I had my hand off the mouse because Beepers was here. And I almost ended up at the depths of hell. Make it the pizza if you have the energy. Or we could do breakfast. Solid options, my friends. Oh, oh this is not going to work this way. Hey, I almost said Juno. Wolfie. Boing. Have a seat. Alright. All we gotta do is make sure that stuff doesn't collapse on our heads. Breakfast, dinner. All right. Oh, that is going to be a very granular bed. All right, gotta get rid of this junk. Is there a reason to make the hidey hole 3x3 over just 1x3? Yeah, because you need room around the bed to respawn, both like after you get out of the bed or if I were to die. You've all seen the classic Mindcrack UHC. This person suffocated in a wall. It's because they put their bed somewhere that they then spawned in the wall and then suffocate to death. Also, at least in this version of the game, the surrounding, you need area surrounding the bed. I believe it's 3 blocks where a monster can't spawn. If a monster can spawn within 3 blocks of your bed, then a monster will spawn on you. So this way I've got at least 2 blocks accounted for, assuming that the walls are solid. That's why sometimes if I don't realize there's a cave right next outside this wall, a monster has spawned. But yeah, that's another reason. And that's why the elevated hidey hole is 3 blocks up off the ground. Does that make sense? Did I explain the math? The complicated molecular math? The Bachelor of Science in Art surrounding that theory? Yeah, that's another FarLands or Bust live stream in the boat. And I'm gonna go to sleep, check the world save, and then I guess I gotta feed these cats and consider making a pizza. So let's do that. Tiny text. 45,490.5 megabytes.